I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and here are a few of the things I found most impressive so far, along with a few unusually cool details that I can't believe the devs actually accounted for. This is all just from the early region of the game, keeping it story spoiler free, so you're safe. I'm Alex, and I got you covered. Okay, here's my horse. Something you see them do when they're scared or as a little trick is to rear up on their back legs and kick move the air. This can be done with any horse by pressing backwards in the jump input while you're stopped. It's a neat horsey maneuver, sure, but this is actually quite an aggressive action, and the devs made it so that rearing up your horse can actually intimidate and scare enemies if you do it right in front of them. While blacksmithing, after you heat up the metal, you'll have to use the anvil to shape it with either quick taps of the hammer or harder, slower strikes. You're encouraged to do this in a consistent rhythm, and if you do it with correct timing, you'll actually start to whistle songs that you might recognize from the original Kingdom Come Deliverance soundtrack. A quick sequence of hits will play this. And slower strikes will play this. While using the crossbow, it's pretty slow to load, but the dev team added a realistic mechanic to help counter its downside. Loading the crossbow can actually be done as a two-part process, and if you prematurely let go of the input, you'll simply prime the string in place without the bolt. This lets you start the reload process, reposition, and then quickly load in the bolt when you need to. If the crossbow isn't loaded, you can swap over to your melee weapon like normal. However, if the crossbow is already loaded, swapping weapons is slightly slower to account for manually removing that primed bolt. Arrows and bolts will ricochet off hard surfaces. Sometimes they'll break, sometimes they won't. Metal armor, like helmets, can also deflect projectiles like this, inflicting mitigated damage. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 takes crime super seriously. A minor offense will send you to the pillory, which puts on you the temporary disgraced debuff. A slightly worse offense will earn you a caning, which inflicts the beaten like a dog debuff instead. A serious offense though you want to avoid, since you'll be branded on the side of your neck. This temporary debuff will let everyone know you're a criminal, which affects how they treat you. However, even after the debuff expires, you can still see the scar that the brand left embedded in Henry's neck. If you commit another serious crime after being freshly branded, you definitely don't want that, because you'll be hung, and that leads to a deceased Henry. If someone else is serving out a sentence, you can actually talk with or insult them, along with NPCs coming by and doing the same. If you try to pickpocket someone stuck in the pillory, well, they can't do anything about it if they catch you because they're stuck.
What the? Where are you sticking your hands, you thief?
I did happen to find a pretzel on this guy though, so yeah, thanks Warhorse. In major cutscenes, they also snuck in... Did you see it? Yeah, right there it is. That is a prehistoric raptor for no logical reason. Good luck to you, because now you'll only be half paying attention during major scenes hyper-focused on dinosaur lookout. When wielding heavy weapons like axes or maces, if you use them until their durability completely breaks, they'll become a different item in your inventory, a weapon stub. This is essentially just the stick section of the weapon, but it can still be used in combat. You can even fully repair the durability of a weapon stub, and then go broken stick build challenge if for some reason you want to try that. If you think you're so smart by knocking out a guard, stealing their really nice tanky armor set, and strutting around town with it on, guards will actually acknowledge your theft of their gear and punish you for it.
You steal something from us, and then you go walking around with it on. That's not happening. Surrender!
Same goes for stealing clothing from people's homes and then flaunting it right in front of them.
You must have stolen that from us. Now you're walking around with it on? Come on, then.
Our house.
Let's sort this out.
If you have stolen items with this red hand symbol on it, it'll get confiscated if a guard catches you with it in your inventory. However, stolen items will eventually be forgotten over time and turn into just regular, normal items. To be safe from guards stripping stolen goods off of you, just stash those in a chest and come back later and you'll find that they're now perfectly legal items you can sell anywhere. After completing an alchemy concoction, Henry will actually chime in and indicate if he did something slightly wrong. like using too much heat or comment on the quality of the ingredients.
If I'd had fresh herbs, it would have turned out better.
Instead of using the prepare input to automatically have the game add the required ingredients for you, you can manually pick them out of your own inventory and choose the highest quality ones. This can yield not only more potions per brew, but also better quality ones, like the Strong Marigold deconcoction, which heals 40 health, compared to its normal counterpart healing 25. The devs added the ability to crouch and throw rocks to distract and lure NPCs, but since this world adheres to its own physics, I instead often find myself just using them to knock down nests. This is often better than wasting an arrow that you may or may not get back. A really random detail is that nearly every NPC actually has voiced lines in place just in case you decide to throw rocks at them for some reason.
Stop fooling around with those stones! Hey! Are you trying to piss me off?
If you decide to go on a Zelda-themed chicken massacre or do other oddly specific crimes, NPCs also have lines of dialogue that go along with the exact offense.
That hen could have laid many more eggs. It'll cost the owner a lot.
If someone catches you opening a door to a private area, they'll actually comment on it and go investigate if anything is missing.
Were you trying to scare me? I hope nothing's missing.
If you tend to pick up every bread, apple, gauntlet, and broadsword in this style of RPG, you're actually kinda rewarded in this for walking around over-encumbered by too much weight. This will slowly build up your character's strength stat, because you're building muscle by carrying around so much. You can clean off dirt and blood by using wash basins, or you can find one of these special ponds with a dock. Go to the edge and look down. You can wash yourself off in a similar way. But if you happen to have soap in your inventory, you can use this to also wash your clothing without needing to go to the bathhouse to pay for it. However, you can't do that other service the bathhouse provides in these ponds, sadly. This is another really random detail, but injured NPCs will actually go and find a place to recover in real time. After beating this guy in a fistfight, I followed him to see what he did after he received that beatdown. He eventually stumbled all the way back to his home, put his clothes away in the chest, got in bed, and just slept to heal. Just like what you, the player, would do, you would find a bed, go to sleep for some free heals. With the multi-outfit system, you can save preset loadouts of gear. Like here, I have Out in the Wilderness Combat Henry, and on my other outfit, Dapper City Henry. This lighter clothing I change into when I enter a town gives me higher charisma to be more persuasive, and is also just faster for running around on foot, since armor weight does affect your run speed. If you instead choose to gleefully explore with your Henry out, nearly every voice actor had to meticulously record lines just in case you happen to not have clothes on at that specific moment.
How can I help you, naked fella?
Why are you naked, lad?
My God, where are your clothes?
Sorry. I've been having a bit of a rough patch lately.
Hey, did you forget your clothes somewhere?
At your mother's place, when I was shagging her.
How rude!
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has Grand Theft Horse in it. If you find a high-value horse, you can actually steal it and take it to this black market horse dude. He will give you some cash for hot horses, but often doesn't carry too much money on him. You might want to buy some better gear for your horse from his shop first, then sell him your stolen ride when he has more funds to give. If you find a drying rack, you can preserve food and herbs to make them last longer. Meats you can choose to dry like this, or you can use a smoker to cook them an alternate way. There's also just the normal cooking method by interacting with the pan near a stew pot. Traditionally cooked meat gives medium nourishment but spoils the fastest. Smoked meat gives higher nourishment and lasts longer. Dried meat, on the other hand, gives the least nourishment of all of them but has infinite durability. Those won't even spoil if left for Henry's grandson's uncle or the next apocalypse. Alright, all of that was captured fairly early on during my playthrough, but there's so much more to unearth in this game, it's kinda crazy the team at Warhorse managed this level of detail. Genuinely impressed by what I've played so far. But let me know what you guys think was the most surprising or interesting element I showed in this. The weapon details, the NPC AI, the meticulous voice lines, the world design, or something else entirely. Let me know. Okay, that's all I had for you today, but stick around on my channel if you're into RPGs. It's a big year. As always, I'm Alex. Thanks for watching.